It's Friday, December 12th. I'm meteorologist Kayla Mitchell in the CTV News Atlantic Weather Center. We have a couple things to talk about in this update, including some intense snow squalls ongoing in areas of Nova Scotia, and then a look at the end of the weekend when that province and maybe other parts of the Maritimes could pick up additional snow. So let's begin with the snow squall watches and warnings that are in effect. The watches here are highlighted in through the yellow. They do include southern parts of the Annapolis Valley, Annapolis County, parts of Cumberland County, the north shore of mainland Nova Scotia, Pictou and Antigonish County, and up into northern Inverness and Victoria counties in Cape Breton, where there's a risk of snow squalls actually carrying on into Saturday. Now, the snow squall warning extends from Kings County up through Hants County and in around the Minas Basin area through parts of Cumberland and Colchester counties. And that's where we're seeing a band of some very intense snow that has developed off of the Bay of Fundy. And it's running up in the area approximately between Kentville and up towards Truro, including across sections of the number 2 and the 102. If you can avoid travel through this area through the remainder of Friday, especially during the afternoon, but maybe even the first couple of hours of the evening, it's highly advised because that snow is rapidly accumulating in some areas, and it is also creating some whiteout conditions. Now, as we take a look at a forecast model, it is indicating that the situation with those snow squalls is expected to improve as we make our way through the early hours of Friday evening. So I would say maybe between around 5 and 7. Temperatures at that time around the Maritimes will be mostly a few to several degrees below the freezing mark, and it is going to be another colder night for the region. At 9, most temperatures will be in the range of around -3 to -6, and there'll be a risk of some snow squalls up around the north shore of Nova Scotia and once again into Inverness and Victoria counties in Cape Breton. And the overnight low temperatures for New Brunswick will be falling into a range of -6 to -11, down to around -6 for Prince Edward Island, and the lows for Nova Scotia between -2 and -6. That takes us into Saturday's forecast. Now, we're going to have to watch out for some further snow squalls, especially up into the Cape Breton Highlands for northern Inverness and Victoria counties in Cape Breton. There at the higher elevations over the next say 24 to 36 hours, there's a potential for some snow to fall that could accumulate between 15 and 30 centimeters. Other parts of the Maritimes on Saturday, mostly looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Bit of a chilly day. High temperatures for New Brunswick between -5 and 0, around -3 for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island, and for Nova Scotia, mostly in the range around -1 to +2. Now, on Sunday, a coastal low pressure system is going to begin to develop and move up off the eastern seaboard of the United States. During the day, this is expected to develop some lighter snow across Nova Scotia with a chance of flurries around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick and for Prince Edward Island. High temperatures on Sunday, mostly between 0 and 2 degrees for Nova Scotia, around -1 for Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island, and between -4 and -1 for New Brunswick. Now, that low pressure system is expected to move up and past the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia, strengthening as it approaches Newfoundland. Further snow looks likely, especially for Nova Scotia, Sunday night into Monday, and depending on when that low pressure system starts strengthening, it could actually develop into a steady or even heavy at times snow. So during the day on Sunday, expecting snowfall amounts for Nova Scotia, mostly in the range of around trace up to 2 to 5 centimeters. But additional snow that comes down Sunday night and even into Monday could total another 5 to 10 centimeters. Now, right now, I'm in the range generally for totals for that weather system Sunday into Monday of around 5 to 15 centimeters for Nova Scotia, and up to around 5 centimeters for Prince Edward Island, except 5 to 10 centimeters in Kings County. Chance of flurries from it for New Brunswick. Now, there's been a lot of uncertainty in the development of this weather system throughout this week. High variance between the various different forecast models that kind of give us some guidance on how it could play out. Nova Scotia will be at risk of the heavier snow, especially the Sunday night into Monday time frame. And again, I'm sort of picking a model that's halfway between some of the snowier estimates for the system and some of the ones that look like it could just be lighter snow moving through. So that leaves me with a general range of around 5 to 15 centimeters. Again, that's Sunday through Monday for Nova Scotia. If the system strengthens on Sunday during the day, that could bump up those snowfall amounts for Nova Scotia, especially the Sunday night, Monday time frame. If it passes Nova Scotia and then strengthens on Monday, that would indicate that maybe the snowfall is going to be a little bit lower for that province. The bottom line is that Sunday, Monday period of time is one that you're going to need to check in on your forecast, especially for Nova Scotia, but also Prince Edward Island a couple of times this weekend. You can find news and weather updates anytime at ctvnewsatlantic.ca.